Okay, it says we're live, but usually this cuts in like 5 seconds in saying, hey, it's a low connection. So, yeah, let's start because it says it's a good connection so far. So, hello, welcome to episode 19 of Cam's Comedy of Cooking Airs in the Kitchen. Welcome to the live cast of this week on Facebook. I hope you're all having a good day so far. Happy Monday, best day of the week. Before we begin, as always, shout-outs. Shout out to the person who made me this sign. Please forget to like and subscribe because, as you all know, this is not meant to be highlighted or I'm not doing this for the subscriptions and the likes or for the clout or anything else. I'm doing this to remind everyone that it's okay to make mistakes, to oopsies up a little bit, but to learn from your mistakes because life is not a highlight reel. We all make mistakes and we learn from them. So tonight is going to be back to kind of the basics. I'm doing a top sirloin filet because they don't spell with the second I in sirloin. I'm going to do a thing of broccoli crowns. And I walked in tonight and I wanted to do potatoes, but I didn't want to do yams because doing sweet potatoes 2 weeks in a row, I didn't think that'd be like super original. I know, me being original. Shocker, right? I didn't want to go back to normal potatoes, so I decided to go with a medley of potatoes. So I really want to be able to get to the point where I'm able to say, we're going to saute these in like a light garlic olive oil, and we're not there yet. Those are going to go in the air fryer. So I'm going to, without further ado, start tonight. We're going to, I'm not going to really season the steak, I don't really want to. I'm going to put salt and pepper, though, on the pan itself because, why not? I probably should. We skipped a step. Oopsies, we skipped a step, and that's okay. What we're going to do, if that would tear correctly, but it won't, we're going to spray this down, we're going to wipe it off, and then we're going to put the pepper back on, because, again, I make errors in here, and that's okay. We're going to turn the fan on. Alright, so, jokingly, but also kind of not jokingly, if someone wants to start timing how long it takes me to start coughing after I start cooking, I think that'd be hilarious because, yeah. I feel like my timing's also going to be off on a lot of things tonight because this is the first time I think this is the first time I'm doing medley of potatoes. And I don't know how long those take to cook, and I didn't Google it, which is an oops, on my fault. These are very small cut steaks, so I'm only going to do one tonight, but I still feel pretty good about that. We're going to not cut open the medley of potatoes yet. I don't want to. We are going to cut open the crown of broccoli, though, because even I know it's not good to just put a full crown of broccoli into air fryer. We will cut this, or we will, excuse me, probably should put that on there. That's okay. We have more cutting boards we can use. I'll put this over here. The nice thing is we're not doing chicken again this week, so I don't have to worry about salmonella. Because let me tell you, that was not a fun time at all. I cleaned everything vigorously with rigor. Rigor? Rigor, yeah. Rigor sounds almost too pretentious to say. So with rigor, I cleaned everything after last week. So yeah. I'm only going to do one of the sirloins tonight. I'll do the other sirloin eventually. Not something I'm too concerned about. I will say, though, as you can hear the golden dulcet tones of my voice, but not see me, I did find, which I've been meaning to look for, this will go in here. Okay, I thought it was basketball at all. Let's try to get better results. Nice, I made it the second time in. Okay. I did find a medium-sized Ziploc bag because, for those of you who have been watching for a few episodes, I have super large ones and I have super tiny ones, but I don't have any ones in the middle. And even as I was leaving the store tonight, I went, oopsies, I forgot that one. And then I got home and I'm like, oh, I have them. I just have them in a different drawer. And it was a good time. So, crisis averted, problem solved. Again, we're not going to do all of these tonight because I am planning on doing a live leftovers sometime eventually, but that remains to be seen when it's going to happen. And yeah. And then you fall on the ground. No one look at that. We'll get that out of the way. I'll pick that up later. 4 live leftovers this week. I have 2 band events, so I will see what happens and when, but I'm super excited for the band events. And yeah. It is kind of nice and funny to say this is my show, so I get to make the rules. Because it is my show and I do get to make the rules. Let me not talk while I'm holding a knife and cutting things. I am done cutting things for the moment. I am going to put the potatoes in first. I'm just not going to cut them open because I don't want to. I'm going to see how that works out. We are going to use not all the potatoes tonight, obviously. We're going to use a lot of potatoes, though. There has been a theme in all these dishes, to my knowledge. Potatoes are... I think they've been in all of my episodes so far. Shout out to potatoes, because, you know, Irish. Okay, I just don't have to... Next time I'm in Meyer, I'm not going to tie it this tight, because that'll work out better. We're going to wash a handful off first, because washing is important, kids. Washing is very important. Okay, we're going to do this many tonight. That might be... Here, we'll do... I could also... I should have probably counted these out, but I just kind of grabbed a handful at once. Oh, happens. Alright. Now, I'm probably going to make, like, several mistakes with these, and that's okay. Oopsies if so. Thank you for the non-judgment. And thank you to everyone who always comments ideas or suggestions or, hey, next time try this. I do read them. I just don't really respond to them. But I thank you for the comments regardless. Okay, I can hold those in my palm, so that's a plus. Now, put these in here. Probably ride those off, but whatever. We can always do more minutes, so let's start with less. Yeah, we'll do that. I gotta crack open the Gatorade, and then I'm gonna put the steak onto the pan. The top sirloin steak, not sirloin, remember. So we're gonna do the one that's hiding under the side tonight. Now, should I have let these marinate something? I mean, yes, but at the same time, again, I wanted to taste it without having anything else, which is, again, as many of you know, I don't enjoy using condiments on food because I want the natural taste, at least at first, but then afterwards, we can always add something in later. I'm going to put that in a Ziploc bag. I'm going to put this out here on a paper towel. Let's clean up the rough draft, we could say, of things over here. Close this up. Goes in here. We're going to have to use a large one for the steak. Now, steak is just generally like, I know it takes less time to cook, generally speaking, but I sometimes find it harder to cook because of its thickness, and I probably should have cut it in half looking at it right now, but that's a story for a different time. I did get a smaller broccoli crown tonight on purpose, but we're going to probably... Here, we'll do that much. Cool, alright. I really should have cut that in half. Oops. I think it's too late for me to cut that in half while it's on the pan, so that's okay. But we are going to press it down firmly. anyways. And then we're going to add salt to it also. And I got to figure out a better way. I have to have like another, not a utensil holder, but like something like that. One of these days I might move to 2 pans at the same time. But alas, it is not today. To quote the Aragorn meme from Return of the King, but it's not, but today is not that day, it's not today. I see the same fear in your eyes, that would drive, something like that, but today is not that day, it's not that day. Anyways, never a bad time to watch Return of the King or the entire trilogy, so I just gotta remember the exact, I'm gonna remember the exact line after I hit end live stream play. I know I am. I know that Men of the West, if that helps at all. Men of the West, they all draw their swords, the music is triumphant, and they're being surrounded by tens of thousands of orcs from Mordor at the Black Gates. So, while this is cooking, we're going to cook this up a little bit. While this is cooking, I will... There's 2 things I want to talk about tonight. One is going to be another part of, as I've told y'all, I'm playing through Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I'm doing the second playthrough right now. I realized, like, another reason, like, I realized playing the second boss, or the second Dungeon Guardian, why it's not what I was hoping it would be, but I can't give it grief because of that. Obviously, it's based off of, I think it's Breath of the Wild, The Legend of Zelda, but it's easier than I thought it was going to be, and it's just shorter than I thought it was going to be. I can, if I trace this, like, this is my second playthrough, if I do it again, I can probably, first cough at whatever time, I can probably beat this game quicker than I would like to be able to. Like Metroid Prime 1, which is a long backtracking game. Crack the Gatorade, not sponsored as always. Like Metroid Prime 1, I can make in about 10 hours. Like, that's usually the goal. If I haven't played in a while, if I haven't played Metroid Prime in a while, I will try to get it under 10 hours. But I know every room and every movement enough, and where every item is well enough that I can make things happen, I think is the correct phrase I'm looking for. But the hardest thing, the thing that takes the longest for Prime 4 is that it's not a long game, but there are things in there to pad the time, and that's why I wasn't a very big fan of it. But the other one is that, I'm going to put this over here on a plate. Not right yet, that's okay. And the other problem is that the weapons system is very, I don't want to say bad, because that's not fair per se, but it's just, where am I going to put this? What's over here right now? Yeah. It's disappointing. And I mean by that, I was fighting the second Dungeon Guardian, and I can rapid fire single shots from the arm cannon. The missiles are generally considered stronger because they're missiles. The missiles don't do like if I were to fire a missile they take too long to fire, to reload and fire. Whereas the arm cannon, if I just tap the button quick enough, I can do almost triple the damage that I can do with the missile. So it's kind of like the lesser the weapon is actually the faster weapon, so I can do more damage with a worse weapon than I can do with a stronger weapon. And that kind of like feels like it's defeating the purpose for a lot of things. But again, I think the problem I was fighting. It was the Vault Forge Guardian, the second area you get to, and that's when I realized, oh, you just have to rapid fire this and you will give it more damage. But I also realized how quickly I could do this, and this could be like an actual speedrunning game for me. Because we all know I play all the video games all the time. That being said, I mean, it is a fun game. Someone described it. It's a game you can watch, or it's a game you can play to check out for a couple hours when you're bored after a long day. And you can just chill there and play this game for a while and check back out, or check back into the world after you play for a few hours. Not a bad thing, just, again, it's not quintessential Metroid. I think that was the part that was kind of like, oof, and you know, it can't live up to what you were hoping it was going to be after 8 years of development purgatory. So, just putting that out there, because I know Nintendo execs and Retro Studio execs watch this page all the time. Something else funny, actually, so we'll probably talk about 3 things tonight. Something else funny is, I'm playing a song for Contraband, and it sounds, it's a Latin groove mix called, and I'm going to say this wrong, Pipiton. And it's super fun to play, but it makes me think of the song Hotel California. There are certain parts where, if you know the solo for Hotel California, it sounds exactly like the guitar solo at or near the end of Hotel California. Like I get I should say I get the same vibes from it that I do as Hotel California. Which is neither a good nor bad thing, but I just think it's an interesting thing that, hey, this sounds kind of, oh, that burns a little bit. Oh well. I at least have a digital thermometer I can use tonight so I don't have to guess if it's done or not done. Because I learned, or I try to learn. We are not doing Watkins salt-free steak seasoning tonight, like I said, because I just want to taste this as it is, which I know might be horrifying to some people. Right. Let's put this in for... I don't need that long. Let's do for that long. And I'm probably going to burn broccoli, and that's okay, everyone. Oopsies. Oh well. And now I have Hotel California stuck in my head. Not a bad song, honestly. So the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight is this will probably ruffle some feathers and rub people the wrong way, and if it does, I apologize. But I was looking for things recently, and I came across, and every so often YouTube recommends me, like in cycles, will recommend me something or other, and it's been recommending me micro apartment tours in New York City. Now, I'm going to promise, or I'm going to tell you, I don't plan to move to New York City. I don't know why it's showing me these, but it's showing me micro apartment tours in New York City. And I understand that, like, it's kind of like the difference between like respecting and liking something. I can respect that people will do anything to live in New York and Manhattan, in that area. But it's like, dude, oh my gosh, that just seems like I, as a person, I know I don't need a lot of space. But at the same time, like, even that's tiny. I think my second apartment after I left college was the second apartment, 556 square feet, which is, you know, it depends on how it's set up, but it's not always the largest apartment in the world. But like these things are like 90 square feet, and you have like your couch turns into a bed, or some people have their bed where like you lift up the bed and all their stuff is down under the bed. Like, oh my gosh, that sounds just like crazy. And then everyone always talks about how, you know, when you live in New York, you don't just live in your house, you live in the neighborhood, which I can get behind that. It's a community. But again, just the whole thing of living in this tiny thing, especially like with the people that have the bed right above the entrance, and when their head is like here and the ceiling of the bed is right there. And someone even talked about how they had their first night they had a friend sleep over at their place on their rocking chair thing, and they woke up halfway through in their apartment that first night, and they had a minor panic attack because they weren't used to the ceiling being this close to their face. So they kind of just like, I understand that people will do things to say that they live in a location, or like even, what is it, for football, like people will do crazy things to go to football games. So I understand and respect it. It surprises me that, like, it's a thing, I guess. Okay, not the best well-cooked steak tonight. I think next week I'm going to do either, like I was going to tonight do chicken thighs for a moment, but then I looked at the chicken thighs and I went, not tonight. I thought about doing chicken tenders, but I think I need to do like a breading on them to get the full effect, and I am not there yet. I did see pork chops, and I haven't done pork chops in, that's why, because it's coming out that way. That's why the please forget to like and subscribe sign is like that, because the air fryer is pushing the air out that way. Makes sense. I haven't had pork chops in a while, so that might be a thing I try next week. I do want to try them, I just don't know when, and I gotta Google a good way to do them. Because a lot of this is just me trying to Google things and then being like, oh, that makes sense, or oh, that doesn't make sense at all.